Greetings, YouTube. Today we're taking a look at the Sencut Watauga, and I believe I'm saying that correctly. It's W-T-W-A-T-A-U-G-A, so Watauga is how I would probably want to go that. Made in China. Warning, this knife is very sharp. Yep. Okay, so this is what the Sencut knives come in, come out of the box in. They have a nice little load, a little address in there. Open your zipper pouch up. It comes with a sticker, which I'll be putting on my toolbox. It comes with a cloth. It comes with the knife itself and a little bit of pamphlet, as well as a little blurb here. Sencut, enjoy your new knife. Share your shopping experience with others. I'm not going to share the shopping experience. Use instruction manual. We'll probably keep that just because why not? Keep that cloth. They're always handy. Now, this is the knife in question, the Watauga. Now, I was attracted to this for two reasons: button lock and Wharncliffe blade. So, so let's take a look at it from the outside first. We have neutral G10 scales. This is what G10 looks like if you don't dye it, and it comes out in this nice pale green, pale jade color. I find that very attractive. And it's not something you see everywhere. Particularly, it's not tactical black, which I am so tired of. It has open construction. It's got 3 sculpted standoffs of 2 different sizes, plus a plain one there. That's also the stop. It is got a nice bit of centering. Has a clip that is not too tight, and the clip is in fact reversible. So because this is a flipper and a button lock, this is a knife that is universal, whether you are right-handed or left-handed, which I think is a major selling point for a blade. You make a knife that can be used by anybody, that's just good marketing. It really is. So let's deploy the blade and take a look at it. Again, a flipper. There's a little bit of jimping on here to get it out. And there we go. It launches very comfortably, and it has some jimping, plus this nice little hollow in there. It is very comfortable. This has been my EDC recently. I've been carrying it every single day, and I have been thrilled with it. It has these nice grooves in here, so you could, in fact, deploy this, pull it out if you want to. I don't see any particular reason to do that. It also means if you need to do a pinching style cut of some kind, you can. I've done this as scalpel cuts very comfortably. I've done it like this very comfortably, and I use this at work mostly for cutting some box opening, but also some strap cutting. I get a lot of boxes and things bundled in plastic straps, so I'm cutting. And often I'm putting them under the strap and I'm pulling this way when I'm cutting things, and it worked quite well. It came out of the box with a nice edge, and I have been honing it on a strop in the basement on a regular basis, so it's in good shape. It has this wonderful swedge coming into this just beautiful Wharncliffe blade. And I actually, even though this is a curve, and a lot of Wharncliffes come at an angle, I would call this a Wharncliffe because of that shallow curve. If it were more of the coming out parallel than coming off at a drop-off, that's more of a sheep's foot. This could also be called reasonably a saxed. It's different names for a very similar design. People seem to really like straight edge knives, and I can understand why, because in my opinion, they are pretty much the best design. Now, when you're notice right now, if you go like this, while the edge is straight, it comes up, the tip is very slightly higher than here. So the blade is actually not perfectly like this. It's set off every so slightly, and I just think that's kind of cool. It's got a nice choil in there, so if you really want to, you can do this. I haven't needed to do this, but I know I can do this comfortably and safely, and it means that for sharpening, that makes it a little bit easier. The liners rather. I don't know if I keep calling them scales. I've done it. This 2 reviews today. I've called them scales twice. The liners are skeletonized, and because this is a button lock, they are identical, which means they could just make the same scale twice and use both of them, and that is, in my book, going to be a big savings in manufacturing. You're just using the same scale over again. You're not having to have 2 different scales as you do in the case of a liner lock. Now, The button lock is just a thing of beauty. This thing is just boom, and it closes. It is awesome. And I gotta think, why don't people use more button locks? Because everything's here. There's no liner lock, so the liners can be identical. So from a manufacturer standpoint, isn't this probably less expensive than having a liner lock? I don't know. I have to be honest with you. I'm not a knife, and I'm not an engineer who has to design machines that make these things. But to me, that just seems like it would be less expensive to design a lock like this than to have two different kinds of liners. I don't know. Just me rambling there. Sorry. Solid lockup, no movement in any direction. And again, because this is a flipper and a button lock, closes for either hand without any difficulty. Right-handed person is going to use their thumb. Left-handed person is going to use their forefinger. Doesn't matter. Things still drop and close. I haven't mastered closing this without having a bit of a bounce. I haven't mastered that yet. Every once in a while I get it. I haven't quite figured out how to make it consistent. But I'm okay with that. I'll figure it out eventually. It may have taken me a while to get there. But I'm absolutely in love with this thing. It is my EDC, and this button lock has absolutely and completely spoiled me. I'm like, I don't ever want to carry anything but button locks again. This means that you're closing a knife and you're not having to put your finger in the path of the blade like you do with a liner lock. Yeah, I know, there's lots of cool liner locks out there. I own many liner locks, probably more than 100 of them, okay? And they're great, but you have to put your finger in the path of the blade when you want to unlock it. Now, one of the things I love about flipper is that when you have a liner lock, when you're closing it, the flipper hits your thumb, so you have a degree of control. If it is a a thumb flick like that, you don't have that control with the thumb stud. I prefer flippers both for that reason and because they're sleeker and there's less protrusions from your knife when it comes to getting them in and out of a pocket. Again, the clip is not overly tight. I have no difficulty getting this onto either a pair of standard jeans, which is what I wear at work, or even getting this onto my Firehouse cargo pants from Duluth, which are heavy-duty fabric. And they're much thicker. And I only own a couple of knives that I can actually get onto that pocket because the top of that pocket is so thick, and this is one of them, and I'm very glad because I love this knife. Now, I will say there's one downside to this. It is wide, okay? You're taking up a lot of pocket real estate with this puppy. That's the only real downside to this. The blade design is beautiful. The finish is great. Overall, the fit and finish is excellent. I love that shape. It is just so darn pretty. But that shape comes at a cost. It is a wide shape, and there's no getting around that fact. So that is the downside to this. I'm still carrying it. I'm going to still carry it, and I'm going to be on the market for more button locks. So I'm going to go out there and start looking for button locks intentionally and see what I've got out there. Because if I could find a knife that is better than this, I will carry it. But at the moment, this is it. And I feel bad because I had a wonderful Sativian Wharncliffe I've been carrying, and I love the thing. And it's it's a flipper, and it's very comfortable, and I got the same kind of scales on it, but it's not a button lock. and this one has won the which knife do I put in my pants every day, and this is the one I put in my pant pocket every day. So this has been the Sencut Watauga, a Wharncliffe flipper with a button lock. And I am absolutely in love